Mixtapes back again with another one. Let's go. What we got going today? Virgil van Dijk getting the start after getting the day off in the Champions League. We got all my hitters and all my locks for today over on the soccer slate. And college football gonna be hectic today too, so I'm gonna be watching that. Don't have my college football locks just yet. Still watching the season, see how it plays out, but let's get into it. So, on this episode, we're covering all my Saturday locks. We're going to have the locks episode dropping tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you're following on Twitter. Like, subscribe, so you keep up with all the latest content and all the latest hitters. Hitting at a 63 percentile. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. Oh, hit it with a little pause, but there it is. So, first lock of the day, we got Burnley versus Arsenal. Burnley sitting plus 270 on the money line. Arsenal sitting plus 100. Over under at 2.5, which I'm going to stay away from because Arsenal on the road, traveling to Burnley, that's going to be a tough game. Burnley, 0-1-3 Premier League start. Arsenal not much better, 1-0-3. 3 losses, only 1 win. But they are coming off that 1-0 victory versus Norwich, which they should have won. They had 30 shots. Only gave up 1 shot on goal, so they locked in. But Xhaka, he's going to be out for this game because he picked up that red card versus Man City. And in their last 6 away games, Arsenal got 4 wins and 2 losses. So Lokonga should start. Let's just go over here and make sure he is starting. Now, we always try to project lineups and shit. He is not starting, actually. So they're starting Thomas Partey in the midfield, or like defensive mid. Odegaard and Smith Rowe is the one getting the start over Lokonga, which is a bit surprising, especially for a new signing, but that's how it goes. Aubameyang, Saka, Pepe. Too much firepower for Burnley to handle. So for this game, especially when Burnley haven't scored more than once in a game all year, and they've given up 2+ goals in 3 out of their first 4 Premier League games, and haven't won at home since January 27th. That's a 13-game drought. So for this game, I'm locking in Arsenal plus 100. You know what's crazy? Bruh, I stay up like all night making sure these notes is locked in. All of a sudden, bruh, my iPad just chilling. I think it's like linked up against the wall, right? Not moving, no wind coming through, nothing. All of a sudden, that shit just falls face first on the floor. I don't even go and check it until like 10 minutes because I know it's not good. I turn that shit over, whole fucking screen is cracked. That shit's insane, got me fucked up. But that's how it goes. Went inside, I was like, let me get, because I was running on like 23 hours straight. I was like, let me get a couple hours in. Wake up, it's fucking 9:30, half hour before the game. I'm like, damn, that shit. Don't you hate when you sleep longer than you want to? That's just whack. But for this game, lock in Arsenal plus 100. The next game we got, also at 10 o'clock, we got Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. And this is one where both Robertson and Alexander-Arnold are out for this game. They're starting to Tsimikas, and they're starting James Milner as the wingbacks. That shit's sketchy. Go over here, look at Liverpool's lineup. Thiago starting. Henderson after that big goal versus AC Milan. Jota as striker with Salah and Mane. I think Mane getting rested last game, coming in with like 15 minutes to go. I think he's going to be on fire versus Crystal Palace. They're off to a 3-1-0 start this year. And especially coming off that 3-0 victory at Leeds, and Liverpool getting that huge win in the Champions League versus AC Milan, coming back. Huge wins. And in their last 14 Premier League games, they haven't got beaten, and they've only given up a goal once this year, and that was to Chelsea in the Premier League. Like, granted, they gave up a Champions League goal, but they haven't given up more than one goal so far in each Premier League game. So, and coming into this game, you got Patrick Vieira, the new coach at Crystal Palace, saying they think they could exploit Liverpool. Come on. You don't want to give them that added motivation. You know Klopp's just going to use that for fire. So, you got Crystal Palace coming into the game, plus 1,400 underdog. The over-under on this game is 3.5, which I'm going to stay away from, especially with all the changes to the lineup. And granted, we got both our strikers, well, both our wingers, and the striker, Jota, going crazy. But Konate getting his first start, which is huge. But Milner and Tsimikas on the outside, I know Milner is good for a yellow card. So that shit's going to get sketchy, especially when you're going against Zaha. I'm not too worried about Ayew, but Gallagher's been having a hell of a year scoring goals. And that defense, probably going to get sauce. So that game's at 10 o'clock. And Crystal Palace this year, they're coming off that 3-0 victory. They're coming off that 3-0 victory versus Tottenham, but scored all 3 goals in the last 14 minutes. And new signing, Edouard, he scored 2 of those goals on his debut. That's why I'm surprised he's not getting the start over Benteke here. But Crystal Palace, winless in their last 5 away matches, ended last season with the 2-0 loss to Liverpool on the road, and haven't scored against them since 2019. So, that's a bit of a run. I think Liverpool, minus 1.5. I'm going to stay away from the over-under because they'll probably win 2-0, 3-0. I see them keeping a clean sheet, especially with Van Dijk out there and Konate starting. But I'm not sure if Crystal Palace, they'll get a goal. Because you always, if the over-under is at 3.5, you usually always need a random goal from the other team. So I'm going to stay away from the over-under in this game. And I'm locking Liverpool minus 1.5. And that's at minus 150 odds. Lock it in. Send it. On to the next one. Which, actually, game already started at 9:30. See, I just wanted to get a couple hours in, come back out. I wake up fucking late. That shit's hectic. But Bayern Munich. So, Bayern Munich, we took them minus 3.5, especially with that fire-ass lineup. That was at plus 100 odds. Said fuck it, added it to the parlay because they've been scoring like crazy. We're not going to go through the stats too much since it already started, but it's 0-0 early. Not too sketched out about it. They got Lewandowski out there, Gnabry, they got Sane. So they got too much firepower to not at least score 4 goals themselves, which they could give up a goal, but I think they'll keep that clean sheet, especially coming off that 3-0 victory versus Barcelona in the Champions League. That was huge. So we locked in that. I'm not going to give it on the locks. You know what I'm saying? Game already started. That shit's kind of whack. But at 12:30 in the Bundesliga, we got Coin. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Versus RB Leipzig. Coin is plus 340. RB Leipzig was minus 130, and that has shifted to minus 115. And the reason why that probably shifted is because they've only beat Coin twice in their last 5 meetings. They each got a couple wins, and there's a draw in there too. So the draw for this game sitting plus 275. I would not be surprised to see a draw in this game. That's not bad value at all. But the over 2.5 has hit in 6 of the last 7 meetings between these teams. And you got Coin coming off a 1-1 draw at Freiburg. But they do have 8 goals in their first 4 games, or in their last 4 games. So 2 goals a game. RB Leipzig just let up 6 to Man City in the Champions League. So I think this is a game where you could lock in the over 2.5, guaranteed, and that's what we're sending. And we're going to stay away from winners. But that draw plus 275 on the money line, not bad value at all. So lock in over 2.5 in that RB Leipzig at FC Coin. So over to Serie A, where we got Inter versus Bologna. There it is. Bayern Munich with the goal. That shit's fire. We also took fucking Wolves this morning. That was one of our little selections. And we took a picture of the first 3 bets, put it out there, just a quick flyer. Didn't post those pics on Twitter. And they ended up losing fucking 2-0. And I think Brentford got red carded in like the 65th. And that's after Wolves have been dominating. They've been dominating shots versus all top teams. So that loss at home, that's very surprising. Especially versus a Brentford team who has been up and down this year. Especially after that big opening game win versus Arsenal. That's crazy to see that. But over to Serie A, where we got Inter versus Bologna. Inter 2-1-0 to start the season in Serie A. Bologna, same thing, 2-1-0. Inter's coming off that 2-2 draw at Sampdoria. They started 9 goals in their 3 games this year, which is fire, and have won their last 17 home games in Serie A. Compared to Bologna, where they've only got 1 goal in their last 2 matches, and they're winless in their last 5 away matches. So with the over-under at 3.5 in this game, I'm not sure if that'll exactly hit, but I'm guaranteeing Inter to pick up the victory in this game. They're going to have that sour taste in their mouth after getting beat late by Real Madrid in the Champions League. And they probably could have won that game too. The ball goes a couple different ways. That's a victory for them. So I think for this game, we're going to stay away from, because Inter's probably, I'll go over here, look at the odds just to make sure. But Inter, probably -1.5. See, -1.5, and that's about even odds right there. Just a slight underdog. I'm going to stay away from that. They'll probably get that, especially because Bologna only 1 goal in their last 2 matches and winless in their last 5 away games. So I think that plays in perfect to them covering that 1.5. But if you want to add it to the parlay, this game's at 12 o'clock. Lock in into -300 on the money line. Send it. Let's go. In the last Serie A game for today, at 2:45, we got Salernitana versus Atalanta. Salernitana is plus 1,000 on the money line. Atalanta -350 favorites. Over-under on this game is 3.5. But that did move back down to 2.5, which it could have moved back. But once you see that change, you got to get it in early. So total goals, 2.5. I think that's guaranteed to hit. Salernitana, 3 losses to start the Serie A season. Coming off back-to-back 4-0 losses at Torino and versus Roma. And have let up 11 goals in their first 3 games so far this year. They should be giving Ribery, they just signed Ribery, they should be giving him his first start for the club. And starting at home in front of those fans should be huge. But one of the key stats, they've never beat Atalanta in their 6 meetings all time. So Atalanta coming in off a 2-2 draw versus Villarreal in the Champions League. Only 1-1-1 to start the year in Serie A. But, and that's tough too, because Atalanta, they're winless in their past 3 matches. They lost 2-1 to Fiorentina in their last Serie A match. And in the game before that was a 0-0 draw versus Bologna. not really playing top notch. I think they should start Ilicic, and getting those 2 goals versus a Villarreal team who's tough to score against. I think that should be a bright spot and a good sign for them. And they've beat Salernitana in 4 out of their last 5 meetings. So I think this is guaranteed to go in Atalanta's favor. They're going to score goals like it's nothing. And with the handicap bet at -1.5, we're going to take them -1.5. And we're going to take the over 2.5 in this game. Lock them both in. Send it. And this other one. Yo. Belgian Pro League. This is my lock of the day. We got Charleroi. And I couldn't probably pronouncing that wrong. You already know. Versus Club Brugge. Club Brugge. -140 favorite in this game. Coming in 4-2-1 in league play so far. Coming off a big result versus PSG in the Champions League. They drew 1-1. Probably could have won that game too, if we're being honest. And had 16 shots to PSG's 9. So they get out and attack. Noah Lang got man of the match in the last game. That's absolutely ridiculous. Nasty player. And De Ketelare, that boy is filthy. So I think just them 2 alone getting out there and attack, that's really all they need going on the road. And Charleroi, 3-4-0 in league play so far. Haven't lost. Coming off that 3-2 victory versus Gent, where we've seen Club Brugge, their last away game, they lost 6-1 versus Gent, which is one of those games you'll probably never see again. It's going to happen once every 5 years, but that's insane that match happened like that. And Charleroi, 10 goals in their past 3 games with 4+ total goals in each of those games. So I think this game, with the over-under only being at 2.5, and let's see if it changed, because that could get spicy. That game's at 2:45. So leading up to there, it'll probably change to 3.5. So you got to be careful. Yeah, the over is a -150 favorite. Get it in while you can, because as soon as kickoff comes around, it's probably going to be at 3.5. So get it in early. And Charleroi, for them to stay within a draw or win the game, is probably a solid bet too. We're going to stay away from that. But only 1 loss in their past 6 meetings versus Brugge, and won 3 matches in that time. So they won 3 out of their last 6, sitting +0.5. I think, let's see if those odds have changed a bit. Yeah, +0.5. Odds didn't change on that at all. Still +115. I think that's solid value. I think everyone's going to be slamming Brugge just based off their performance versus PSG. But you have to see how they've been playing in their past away games. They got at least 3 total goals in their last 4 league games, plus 4 or more goals in 3 of those games. So those total goals, I have no idea how this game is at only 2.5 for the over-under. That's almost ridiculous. So we're going to stay away from winners. Charleroi +0.5 is probably a good bet, but I'm probably going to stay away from that just because you don't know. And you did see how Club Brugge played versus PSG. So really, really tough to call. So I'm going to lock in over 2.5, my lock of the day, in that Charleroi versus Club Brugge game over in the Belgian Pro League. Sunday. And my last 4 locks of the day, where we got at 10 o'clock in the EFL Championship, which this shit's already going to be out. This shit's whack. I'm actually about to send that out right now. Quick shit. See, y'all could see me post some live. some live picks on the Twitter. Make sure, make sure you following along, cause I'll drop it like 5 minutes before the game sometimes. Who's over here grinding the pod, doing the edits and shit, but killing it. So we got, just make sure. Actually, we'll just hit you with these late locks. We won't even go over the Fulham one because that's already gonna be. It's already gonna be over with. Damn. Wanted to sleep for 2 fucking hours. Wake up at 9:30. Game's already starting. You gotta be. That shit's hectic. So, I'll give you the quick 3 MLS locks to end the show. We got Atlanta United versus DC United. Atlanta United plus 100 on the money line in this game, coming off back-to-back shutout victories with 7 goals in both those games, and beat DC United on the road just back in August. So, winning 3 out of the last 4 meetings versus DC United, and DC United 10 wins and 10 losses this year to go along with 4 draws. They don't play well on the road, even though they're coming off a 3-0 victory versus Chicago. Only 1 win in their last 5 road games. And this is a battle between the 5th and the 7th team in the East. It's only 1 point separating them. So, huge game over there in Atlanta tonight. And that game is at 3:30. For that game, I'm locking in the over 2.5, and I'm locking in Atlanta United plus 100, especially with new signing Araujo going crazy. Josef Martinez going crazy. 2 goals in the last game. So Atlanta United, they're flying right now. Send both those over 2.5 and Atlanta plus 100 on the money line. Send it. And I do need to get these locks in quick. Let's see if we could do it before, right? Let's get it. Yo, it gets sketchy right down to the wire. That shit's hectic, bro. I don't even know what the fuck going on today with the. That's like just waking up shit. That's hectic. Yeah, so bad history. We'll take Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool at home guaranteed. Liverpool minus 1.5 versus Leeds / yeah, we'll just lock in Liverpool minus 1.5. I think that's really the only solid bet for this one. Over 3.5, that's kind of sketchy. We got Burnley versus Arsenal. Arsenal plus 100. See, so y'all can see how we send out the picks quick. That's gonna be tough going on the road versus Burnley, but I think Arsenal playing the way they have been lately. I think the over 2.5 is solid too, but I'm gonna stay away from it just because Arsenal is on the road. Next one we got, Fulham versus Reading. Plus the over 2.5. And that's in the EFL Championship. Make sure. And that's tough too, because Howdy Wilson, they've been balling. And that's a matchup between the top goal scoring team in the league so far and the team tied for giving up the most goals. So I think that plays perfect into the over hitting and Fulham winning, because Fulham been playing out of their mind lately. And what's the last? See, we'll post for what's the last one? Yup, Charleroi, yo. Charleroi. It's probably like Charleroi. Some crazy shit like that. And then, yeah. I'm gonna take it. Wait, what? See, it don't even look like I'm spelling it right when I type it. Let's see, the over 2.5, and that one's my lock of the day. Make sure you're following, and that's on Twitter at High Stakes Takes. You can follow all the IG highlights and the latest hitters at Armoni __. It's on Instagram. Killing it. 63 percentile. It dropped a quick percent, but that's what happens, right? You're gonna throw out 15 picks in 2 days. Of course, it's not always gonna. You just gotta be appreciative that you're hitting at that above 60 percentile. Look, bruh, Champions League, Europa League, that shit was rough for match day 1. Rough business. So, Leo today, that game's at 11 o'clock. They'll probably win, but that's sketchy. Even that game gets sketchy. So, yeah. We'll lock in, yeah. Let's get it. Sent out to Alisson is forced into an excellent early save. Gallagher lifts the ball over the top for Zaha, but the red stopper claws it behind for a corner. Crystal Palace getting out there and working. That's pretty sketchy. Let's see the stakes. And I always go and retweet on my own account too. So either account you're following, you're always gonna see the hitters. All right, let's get back into it. We'll have all the late game hitters posted also. That'll be after I get this video up. It might be something sneaky to come later today. Make sure you stay tuned. Maybe some info on another giveaway next week, or some upcoming info on maybe some giveaways. Maybe $100 Best Buy gift card or something. You never know. Because last time we gave away 2. And granted, I wanted to have a couple winners for my first one. But this time, I want to have that one winner, have that prize be higher, make sure we reach a certain retweet mark or the whole contest is invalid. So make sure people are telling their friends, all that shit. So let's get into the last couple MLS locks for the day. And New England Revs tonight. New England Revolution tonight at home versus the Columbus Crew. I might fuck around and go to this game. I might live bet that shit while I'm at the game. Actually, I don't even think sports betting's allowed in Mass. So I definitely got to get my hitters in before I cross that border into Massachusetts. But New England Revs minus 175 on the money line in this game, and that shifted just a little bit. They were at minus 185, but Columbus Crew were plus 500, shifted just a little bit down to plus 480. And that's probably, they've played the Revolution tough. But Revolution this year, best team in the MLS record-wise. 17-4-4 with their star player, Buchanan. They're coming off that 2-1 victory versus New York City FC, which New York City FC, hell of a team. And that's my last MLS lock of the day. But the Revolution, most goals in the MLS this year. Best record, 11 goals in their last 4 home games. And they don't have any injuries to worry about unless, knock on wood if you're with me. Hopefully that stays like that, right? A little superstitious, hit it with the see the sometimes I just do shit, look back and the fucking screen shaking. But Columbus coming into this game 8-6-11 on the year, sitting 10th in the East, but they are coming off a 2-1 victory versus New York Red Bulls. They've lost 5 straight away games, though, so this is going to be tough. They got shut out 1-0 in 3 out of those 5 games, and only 3 points back of the playoffs, but dealing with multiple injuries. This is going to be tough going on the road. See, I wanna send the over 2.5, but that's tough. So I'm gonna stay away from the over under, especially when they have held teams to just 1 goal, but not scoring goals themselves does not help the over under. So I'm gonna stay away from the over under, even though it is only at 2.5 for a Revs game, and we're gonna lock in New England Revolution -175 on the money line. Send it. And to get to my last lock of the day, at 7:30, we got FC Cincinnati +340 on the money line at home versus New York City FC. New York City FC sitting -130. Hold up. See, that's that just waking up shit, right? Damn. But as we see here, that has now shifted. FC Cincinnati +400 on the money line now. New York City FC -160 favorite. And where's the over-under at? 2.5. Yeah, those odds haven't shifted, so that's really up in the air. But I think Cincinnati 4-8-11 this year, only 4 wins, coming off that 4-0 loss to Atlanta. But in the 2 home games previous to that, they beat Toronto 2-0 and then got shut out 1-0 by Inter Miami. Only 1-5-7. 1 win in their last 13 home games, and they've lost all of their 5 meetings versus New York City FC so far, because Cincinnati, newer team, so they're going to have the least amount of matchups versus these other teams. So losing all 5 so far, that does not bode well for them, especially a New York City team coming in 10-5-8 on the season. 10 wins is huge. Sitting 4th in the East. They're coming off a 3-3 draw versus FC Dallas, but that was really one of them games where goals left and right. So tough for that to happen all the time. And New York City FC, which is kind of sketchy, they're winless in 4 out of their last 5 matches, but the one win they did have in the past 5 did come against the New England Revolution. They beat them 2-0. So beating the best team in the league and then not getting a win in either of the other 4 matches, it's really, really one of them things where you almost never know what's going to happen in the MLS. But this shit, it's tough. When you got FC Cincinnati at home, you really don't know how to call it. I think them giving up 4 goals to Atlanta, I think they're going to be down in the dumps. They're already basically, they got the 3rd fewest points in the MLS this year, already out of the playoffs. And even though New York City FC is winless in 7 straight road games, I think all 5 meetings beating Cincinnati, I think that's a guaranteed lock for New York City FC. And then with the over-under sitting at 2.5, in those 5 meetings versus Cincinnati, there's been 24 total goals. So I'm a lock in the over. If you want confident, just based off those stats from New York City FC, you could definitely lock in the over. But we're going to rock with NYCFC -160 on the money line. And we're going to lock in for the last lock of the day, over 2.5. Send it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's have a day. Let's have a day, boys. Let's get it. Let's see how... Seeing I'm about to turn over and fucking Liverpool's going to be losing. Watch this shit. Nope. 0-0. Bayern up 3-0. See what I'm saying? Bro, already up 3-0. Fiorentina, that is not a bad bet for a live bet at all. Watch, go to the live events, head over to the soccer slate. Where we at? See, they always... See, this is already off the market. You can't even bet on them to win. Total goals live, over 5.5. See? And now they're a -170 favorite to win by 5 goals. That's insane. Oh, just shifted a little bit, but that's insane. That's absolutely insane. So glad we got the -3.5 in early. Make sure you check out all the latest hitters on Twitter at High Stakes Takes. If you fucking with the latest videos, make sure you share it. Tell your friends about it. Tell your shouty about it. Don't act like I don't see y'all in there viewing the story. So shit's lit. Back tomorrow with a huge Week 2 NFL episode. Let's keep cooking. Let's go. See, I just sent out the tweet with the on the phone. Look at that, huh? Oh yeah, how's Fulham doing? Let's see. It's kind of whack how they don't just keep all the English teams together. But that's how it goes sometimes. Oh, there it is. Fulham. Come on, boys. Let's just make sure they had a good lineup out there. Oh, yeah. Caballero, Harry Wilson, Mitrovic, Reed, Seti, Shadoba in the midfield. Let's go. Anthony Robinson is a monster. Shout out to the U.S. International. Let's go. Shaka Locks show. Cooking up. Say that 3 times fast, boy. Oh, shit. And let's end it. JB on the beat. Shout out to Sean. That boy going crazy. Turn that up for me one time. Let's go. Let the shoulders move, son. And that's your show. Make sure you subscribing. Leave a like. If you got anything you want to see, any more info, any other bets you want me to cover, any other leagues I'm not covering, put it in the comments. I always check it out and always see that shit. So let's have a fucking day.